Okay, what's going on, everybody? We are live on air. It is 10 o'clock. It is Saturday night. It's not Saturday Night Live, though. It's Saturday night with yours truly, Rob Banks of the Red Cup Review. Thanks, everybody, for that's been waiting. That is in the viewers pool right now. Tonight, we're going to be covering New York Comic-Con. We're going to be covering the Venom movie, possibly. We're going to be covering the Aquaman trailer. We're going to be covering some Mezco stuff, Star Wars stuff. As you guys notice, every week I try to put out some stuff on the table that gives you guys an idea of the stuff that I'm going to be talking out over the course of the broadcast. Now, I am doing the broadcast right now by myself. My buddy, Baz, who normally joins me, is not in right now. Yo, what's up? Kev's Matrix just joined us. That's right. Every time you enter in, make sure you like the video, and please make sure to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit the little bell so you know when we go live next. Also, follow us on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. It's all at Official Red Cup Review, because this is the Official Red Cup Review. When you come into the chat room, please drop a note. Let me know you're here, and I'll shout you out over the air. Okay, I'm going to post one more invitation to my partner in crime, and hopefully he'll be able to join me from Google Plus in just a moment. So please bear with me. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, please introduce yourselves to one another inside the chat, and we'll be getting to the show very shortly. Okay. When you do this by yourself, sometimes it just takes some time. Okay, so for the people that are going to be catching this after the fact, I don't want to have to keep them waiting any longer. So I want to start out with a shout out of a gentleman I met online this week, a man who I will not say his real name, but his YouTube account is MIB Master Toy Museum. And we got caught up in a chat room online, and we were going back and forth with one another. Hey, we got our partner is here finally. What the hell is up, bro?
This technology is not consistent, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to make this work. We got to get together and start this up a little bit earlier. Okay, Master Toy Museum is with us. What's up, guys? Yes, MIB Master Toy Museum. I caught a chat with him, and I just wanted to give him a shout out and go check his channel out. He does a lot of Mego stuff. Apparently, all of his stuff is kept inside the box, and he does like reviews of like the figures, like as if they were mint in box. And what struck me about this guy's page in particular, besides the fact that I caught a cool chat with him on Facebook, was the fact that the sheer volume this guy puts out is just unheard of. The guy's doing like 3 and 4 reviews a day. It's insane. So if you like quantity, where you're just going to be barraged with a whole bunch of mint in box stuff, go check out MIB Master Toy Museum. Ben Swallow, what up, Rob? What's going on? Nick Nack, Plastic Planet in the Wendy's drive-thru watching Red Cup. Awesome. It's nothing like some late night Wendy's drive-thru, except over where you are. It's probably not late night. It's like early night. Okay. Ness, thank you very much. Okay, so let's start the show. Baz, you saw the Venom movie. I didn't see it. Can you give us a quick breakdown of the movie without maybe giving away any spoilers in case somebody that watching hasn't seen it?
Okay, it's fairly, from what you've seen from the commercials and the trailer, it's fairly basic premise. What's his name? Carlton Drake, the head of the Life Corporation, is what you call it, excavates these symbiotes, these alien life forms from outer space. His spaceship crashes on Earth. He retrieves, I think, 3 of the symbiotes. One of them goes free, right? And basically, Eddie Brock, played by Tom Hardy, gets an interview with him, starts asking him some, crazy questions, and Carlton Drake ruins his career. And then, eventually Eddie Brock gets the symbiote. Carlton Drake gets the lost symbiote, which becomes a riot, and all the craziness ensues. It's a basic story, but what really makes the movie is Tom Hardy's portrayal of Eddie Brock in Venom. It's excellent. I really related to the character, and his girlfriend, played by Michelle Williams, who was Heath Ledger's widow. She's an excellent actress. They had chemistry, and what really made the movie was Tom Hardy, of course. Well, and it was funny too. It was funny and a lot of action.
Tom Hardy makes everything
So,
he's in. That guy's amazing to begin with. So, from what the gist of what you're saying, coming from a guy who hasn't seen it and just judged it based on the trailers, this corporation owner, the owner of the Life Corporation, basically plays the like a loose Peter Parker role in that he kind of like ruins Eddie's career.
mhm.
Like that's what you said, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because he starts as he's an investigative reporter, Eddie Brock,
Right.
and he starts asking him questions that he shouldn't be asking him, and ruins his career. Then one of Drake's what you call it scientists starts having a guilty conscience and goes to Eddie to try to investigate what Drake is doing with the symbiotes,
Right.
and in the investigation, Brock gets the Venom symbiote.
Right.
And
Hijinks
the
ensues.
Venom symbiote is it's awesome. It's voiced by Tom Hardy also, so he's playing both characters,
That's great.
and it is a lot of action and it's funny. I mean, you really relate to Tom Hardy's character. He's really cool in this. So the acting was great, and it's surprisingly funny,
Yeah, there was
But
a lot of reports that it had
it's
like a
not.
lot of humor in it.
It's doing well, man. It's like it's gonna make like 80 million for opening weekend,
That's
which is going to
pretty
be like the biggest ever in October.
That's pretty crazy considering that A Star Is Born just came out, and that's like the big Oscar push movie of the season. From what I understand.
That made about 42 million.
Well, Oscar movies aren't going to make as much as superhero related stuff anyway. It's just the way it
Yeah,
is. That's
but
why we have
there
the
is. Should I mention the after credit scene?
just mention. Don't say what it is, but say is it worth staying for? There's two of them, right?
There's two of them. What the middle one is definitely worth staying for, and has to do with the sequel.
Right.
And the last one is it's a preview of Into the Spider Verse.
Right. Okay. So it seems like that these extra like the now you're getting your end credit scene is now your mid credit scene, and your end credit scene is now become like this. We're just gonna sit around and eat shawarma type nonsense that's been going on since Avengers. Now that they're doing two extra credit
Mm.
scenes in all these movies.
What you call? Somebody said something about the new Hellboy.
Yeah, so I
Did
didn't
you
have
see
that on the
those
show
posters?
notes tonight. I haven't seen anything for the new Hellboy. I saw the picture. I didn't see the teaser for it, but I could tell you that the guy that's playing Hellboy, I believe, is the dude from Stranger Things, right? The cop guy.
Yeah.
And he's big. He looks diesel. He looks great in the role. He's got the sword, right? Didn't he have like a sword in the poster or something? I
Yeah.
haven't seen the teaser trail for it. I know Kev's Matrix
I
asked
don't
like
think
what your
there's a
thoughts
teaser
on
trailer.
what happened.
I don't think there's a trailer for it. There's just
He just
two
said it
two
dropped
movie
today at
posters
New
that
York
came out.
Comic Con. That the teaser dropped
It
for it.
did?
That's what he just said.
Oh man.
The Boba Fett's really
I thought it
awesome on
was
the tape.
fully up to everything.
Yeah, no, it's just like when I'm trying to get the show ready and I'm doing like parenting stuff at the same time. And I was also put out a video today where I didn't review, but I did like a semi-review, first look at the Mezco New York Comic Con exclusive Doctor Strange figure, which is right here on the table. And he goes,
Yeah.
this little neat accessory with like the world, and then the world spins like, yay, look at that, and it kind of opens and closes. Yeah, I'll give you guys an even closer look at that because the paintwork on this is really dope. Grayson was looking at it and he's like, oh, they have cat feet for legs, and it spins and it kind of like lifts up a little bit. But
I
I
like
did
the
that,
eyes.
and then 2 nights ago I did the Ronin Wolverine, which I have in the box here because I'm going to wind up selling them off. So my last two quick first look / reviews were of the Mezco figures, and that's what kind of took up my time. So I'm trying to like fit everything in as it's coming. As a matter of fact, right before we went live, Herschel from The Walking Dead, the actor Scott, I forget his name, Scott something or other, he passed away right before we went live.
What?
Yeah, Herschel from The Walking Dead. Let's see, Scott Wilson. Yep, right here. Here you go. Scott Wilson from The Walking
Yeah.
Dead has passed away right before we went live. So rest in peace, Scott
Herschel
Wilson.
was cool, man.
He was cool. I remember him from another movie. I can't remember which, but I remember when I first started watching The Walking Dead, I was like, oh, that's the actor from this movie. Like one of those character actor type characters,
Yeah.
So, speaking of Venom and Spider-Man, the Spider-Man movie unveiled its noir outfit. So basically, in the next Spider-Man movie, Far From Home, they're going to have the noir outfit, which I think if they're going to do multiple things and multiple outfits for movies and stuff, I had this. Did I erase it? I had this for the show this week, a picture of this. So he's going to be in his noir outfit for the movie, not for the home movie, but he'll be in it. Here we go. Here's a quick shot of the Spider-Man in his noir outfit. I have to keep the phone like this because of the glare. But there you go. The Spider-Man was caught on set in his Spider Noir outfit. And for those of you that don't know or know where the hell this noir outfit comes from, my first experience of it was in a Spider-Man video game, and it's pretty cool. And it's like his, sneak around outfit. So that was caught on set, as was pictures of Mysterio in his outfit. So I don't know if he's going to have the bowl. I guess he'll have the bowl on his head, but he was in a very comic book looking accurate suit for the quick shots that were taken from 100 feet away on the internet. So what does everybody think? Noir outfit, thumbs up, thumbs down, looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie or what? Write it in the comments. What say you, Baz? Do you think that's a cool idea to do the multiple outfit thing?
Yeah, why not? I mean, especially since, he's kind of like got that whole Tony Stark thing going now. He's kind of like the Iron Spider now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess it makes sense the way they kind of introduced him being like Tony's protege. If you're going to do multiple Spider-Man outfits, which they have, you can continue that trend without it being cheesy. Like, how the hell is this guy sitting in his bedroom creating all these outfits? He's getting them from Tony, obviously, and I'm cool with that. It makes sense.
It's adding something new to the franchise that we never had, is like Spider-Man using different outfits and stuff. It's kind of cool. It's a new kind of.
Somebody in the comments said the Boba Fett looks cool. Yes, this is the Hot Toys Boba Fett, Return of the Jedi version. And obviously this is the Mezco right here. So that's where it's from. It's a hot toy, basically. Stoked for Mysterio and Mobius, the next movie rumored. Yes, okay. I didn't want to spend too much time on this, but they did the Venom movie. The next movie is Jared Leto playing Mobius. So now apparently Sony's trying really hard to do this shared universe now. So now we're going to get a Mobius the Living Vampire movie. I don't know. I guess, again, we'll wait to see it. We'll wait till we see the trailer. I'm not excited for it. I don't really care about these characters unless Spider-Man's in the movie. I want to see these characters with Spider-Man. To kind of separate them and have them on their own. I don't know. What are we going to do? Next, we're going to have a Dr. Octopus movie where we kind of feel bad for him and then he turns into a villain. And then you're going to have every Spider-Man villain getting their own movie. I don't know. That, to me, that doesn't make sense.
You're going to have like Mobius. You're going to have Silver Sable.
That's the next one I was
maybe Black Cat.
Those were the first two that just went right in my head. You have Black Cat and Silver Sable, which would be cool and would probably work very good on their own or together in a movie where you do like a Black Cat, Silver. You want to make a movie Hollywood about girls without it feeling contrived. You have two great female heroes in Black Cat, who's kind of like a pseudo hero, obviously the way Catwoman is in DC, and you have Silver Sable, and you can throw those two together in a movie, and it would probably be pretty cool, and I'd be able to actually have a rooting interest in that movie. Then you could take one of the Spider-Man villains that is like lesser known that you want to introduce and have that as the main villain for that movie, so you kind of have a backstory with that character as well. But to make a single movie for each of these characters, to me, just doesn't make any friggin' sense at all.
Well, Venom, it looks like Venom's going to get a sequel.
Yeah. Well,
did you hear that Eminem song?
No, I haven't heard the Eminem song.
It's pretty good.
It's in the movie, right?
Yeah, it runs right after the movie ends.
All right, okay.
So what did you think about the reveals? Any of these action figures at the convention?
Oh, so you want to go right to New York Comic Con? Okay, let's give a quick little. We're gonna go right into New York Comic Con now. Baz brought it up. We're going head first into this thing. I was at New York Comic Con on Thursday only, so I didn't get a chance to see a lot of the reveals in person that came after the fact, because most of the reveals come on Friday and Saturday, obviously. I did, however, see them online. I got a few pictures I'm going to show you guys, and we will start with, what do you want to start with? Marvel Legends?
Sure.
Okay, Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends has really been killing it lately. I'm not a Marvel Legend collector anymore, but the freaking sculpts just... The last few waves have really been blowing my mind. And here, for visual aid, there is the Jubilee figure coming out. That thing in her mouth is actually a piece of bubble gum, which is very cool for her character. Again, They just had a Jubilee figure. I don't know why they would do another one, but this one actually looks really cool. This Forge figure caught my eye. This is a really dope looking Forge for those Marvel Legend collectors. I don't know. I think he looks great. Good figure to update. Here's a figure that I'm not crazy about. I think the head sculpt looks great, but again, the body is really plain, and especially I think from the waist down, it looks just like an unpainted piece of plastic. But the head sculpt on this is really freaking nice, and that's the Beta Ray Bill figure that they'll be coming out with soon. And
yeah, that last the first Beta Ray Bill figure they did was good, but this is like a nice tighter sculpt, body wise. It's nice. I like it.
The face also has a little bit of I don't know. It has like a little bit of character in it. It almost looks like he's kind of like half smiling or half like menacingly grinning without just being like the open jaw mouth that just opens and closes. So that's really cool. And here's what totally caught my eye and blew me away. This is the Build-A-Figure, and you got Caliban. And Caliban, for an X-Men villain, he was never one of my favorites, but I always liked him a lot. My first interaction with Caliban as a character was in an X-Force comic. No, not X-Force. X-Factor. I forget what issue it was, but Archangel had just... Did Archangel turn yet? No, Archangel, I think he was still Angel, and I believe that Sabretooth was going after either him or Iceman or something like that, and Caliban was in that issue as well, and after Sabretooth guts one of the characters from X-Factor, I believe, he gets into an altercation with Caliban, and Caliban snaps his back. Like they're like fighting with each other. He grabs him, he bear hugs him, then he just takes him and bends him backwards and just crushes his ass. And Sabretooth is friggin' Diesel. For Caliban to do something like that, I was like, oh my god, this guy's got a crazy cool character design. He's like got that feral look to him too. And he busted my man Sabretooth's ass in the issue. So I was like, yo, Caliban's awesome. And then I believe years later he became one of the members of Apocalypse's Four Horsemen, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, Ben Solo. I thought Caliban used to be a skinny little guy. Yes, he was, and I believe he became that big diesel hulking guy when Apocalypse got his hands on him and turned him into one of his horsemen or one of his enforcers or something like that.
Yeah, he was the Morlock. Remember the Morlocks?
Yes, that was like right around the time of the Mutant Massacre. I think he was one of the only ones to make it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he was like that skinny kind of character. He's actually
he fell for Kitty Pryde and stuff.
Yeah, he had the bug eyes, like he was all like bug-eyed and kind of weird looking. And then
that's when like Callisto, strung up Angel. I think wanted to marry him or something, or she fell in love with Angel, and then she had like a knife fight with Storm.
I was just going to say,
and then Storm
challenges her for the leadership of the Morlocks, I believe.
Yeah.
So those were great issues. Golden Age of X-Men. Okay, we got a lot of questions coming in. I kind of want to address all the questions coming in, but I want to keep it to. So what do you think of the Marvel Legend reveals?
Pretty good.
Yeah, nothing we're excited about. Anything you looking to get?
Caliban looked cool. I really want that Professor X, but I've seen him before.
Right.
I just feel like this is a lot of stuff that we've seen.
Well, I'm going to address that too, as well as we get through the next few things, and when we start talking about the con in general. Not to switch gears, but to keep it on the action figure stuff, because we got a lot of pop culture stuff to get to tonight as well. The Star Wars
Storm Collectibles, dude.
I don't have anything for Storm Collectibles. You want to jump on that? I was going to go into the Black Series.
All right, they showed Injustice 2 Darkseid and Lobo.
For what? Figures?
For figures, yeah. They mostly do like Street Fighter and stuff and Mortal Kombat, but they're doing some DC, and their first two is
stuff.
Look great.
Yeah, I gotta get on that. Look, they must have revealed them today because I didn't get a chance to see them. Star Wars Black Series. General Grievous is coming. Yay! For those of you that like the prequels, and boo for everyone like me, because I don't care about any of these.
I thought he'd be taller.
Yeah, I thought this figure would be bigger. There's
what a stupid line.
Yeah, you know what? And they have this Obi-Wan figure coming out as well for the Black Series. And I got to tell you, as much as I really don't care about the Clone Wars or anything that's prequel related, the head sculpt on this is freaking amazing. I don't know if you
Yo,
guys
that
get
like
a good shot at
SH.
what happened.
That head sculpt is SH Figuarts worthy.
Yeah, it's really good. I was like, this didn't look Black Series to me. It did look like a Mafex or Figure Arts type looking figure. Again, I want to try to get that a little bit closer, but that's definitely Ewan McGregor right there, and it looks cool. I like the designs, the prequel stuff. The designs of the characters are cool. I'm just not really a big fan. Am I going to wind up buying these things? Probably for Captain Awesome. For those of you that don't know, Captain Awesome is my son, Grayson. And he loves Black Series stuff, so I'll be pushing. I'll probably be getting that stuff for him. What else?
They're re-releasing Anakin.
They are, yes. Oh, and I think he's coming with an updated head sculpt. I don't know what they're doing these days with head sculpts, but all of a sudden the head sculpts just look great. All of a sudden, like they're doing, I guess, like this kind of motion capture or like this digital printing imaging on like face sculpts now for 6-inch. Like $20 action figures where the head sculpts are getting really, really freaking good, which is good because it puts the pressure on companies like Mezco and Hot Toys to step their game up even more. Let's see. Nick Nack
Says prequels are epic. I agree. They have problems, but the imagination on display there is excellent compared to the newer stuff, which is
not even close. If you think that the
devoid
prequels
of-
are better than anything from the new movies, your opinion does not matter. Sorry.
Hells yeah. The
Dude,
new
the
movies
prequels are unwatchable.
So derivative of what comes before. It's ridiculous. There's nothing new from the new series that is any
you
kind
gotta
of magic.
really go back and I want you to go back. I was watching Revenge of the Sith, and I know Nick Nack is gonna friggin' hang me for this. I was watching Revenge of the Sith with Grayson, and we both looked at each other like he was like, "Yo, you want to take this off?" Like it's boring, and just like the acting sucks in all three of the movies. The CGI is terrible. The characters themselves are kind of cool. Like Maul looks cool. The designs are cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Like as far as I'll give you that. As far as a design standpoint, it's actually pretty well designed. I just think that as far as it's like a house built on the designs would be like the bottom, right? So there's like a nice good cement foundation, but the house is made of sticks and it just blows over. But I'm not doing this. I'm not doing a prequel thing tonight. We got to keep it moving. Oh, yes. Do we bring up the
Molecule?
yes. Yes, we will be getting to Molecule. All right, so we're jumping all over all right, so we did kind of New York
Comic-Con.
I guess we'll get back to that in a minute because I'm going to follow
we didn't finish. No, because you went there, dude. You didn't tell me what it was like.
Yeah, okay, all right. So we have to Molecule 8 is coming up because that's a huge topic for the 1/6 people. Okay, what was it like? On Thursday, it was mobbed and packed. The Mezco line to pick up anything was just hours wait. I got there an hour before it opened up. I was able to get online 10 minutes before it opened, and the line was already 50 people deep. This was before it even opened to the public. It's outrageous. Was it fun? Yeah, it's fun. The way every other con is fun. But I thought the guest list kind of sucked this year. I thought the exclusives sucked. Like the exclusives that I got, like he was cool. The Ronin Wolverine looks cool, but it's Mezco. Everything that they put out pretty much looks cool. I thought the rest of the exclusives were kind of whack. I'm not into pops or anything like that. Of course, they had 50 friggin' different things and whatever. I'm not even going there. It was just mobbed for a Thursday. It was freaking mobbed, which is funny because today my buddy who was at the con all 4 days sent me this picture, and it was actually for a Saturday. Not that bad. Here's a picture of today at around 5:20 at the con. Look at that picture right there.
Yeah, dude. Yo, I saw a video from Mike S. Miller. He's an artist that we were fans of, and he was showing like how like kind of like easy it was to walk around. And he's like, "Is this the death of conventions? Is it over?" He's like, "This is." He was like, "This is too empty for a Saturday." So, what do you think?
Yeah, I was. That's exactly what I was gonna. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was actually gonna eventually get to that part and go, is New York Comic-Con facing its doom with a picture on a Saturday at 5 o'clock where you can actually see the showroom floor? Now, this picture here is actually There's actually less. I would say that on Thursday, this was about 10 to 15% more packed than what you're seeing in this picture right now. So Thursday was kind of mobbed. I was having a little bit of more of a panic attack again. I started getting the heart palpitations. I had to drink some water, take a few breaks, and then at around 5 o'clock, I just had to get the hell out of there. I didn't get a chance to pass out as many cards as I wanted to. My partner in crime, Miss Bell, could not show up. She locked herself out of the house. Family problems. She could not show up, so I didn't have a camera person. But shout outs to my boy Lino, who was there, who came in the nick of time. So I got 4 reviews coming. All right, so what is Red Cup doing as far as the con goes? I got 4 interviews coming. I got an interview with Cryptozoic for those of you that like vinyl figures and the Cryptozoic line. And for those of you that don't know what Cryptozoic is, you should look it up because it's basically all your favorite properties, mostly DC stuff, but like DC, Marvel, and stuff like that, smashed together with like the style of Aunt Lucia and the Bombshells / Betty Boop style. And they mashed their figures and stuff together. One of my earlier reviews was on their Harley Quinn figure. I got a really good booth walkthrough with them. And was able to solidify my contact with those people better, which was cool. While I was doing that, after that I got another interview with Arcade 1-Ups. They have like standing arcades like that are pretty cheap. You look at like an old school. Everyone would want, and every one of us geeks and nerds would want a stand-up arcade in their house. If you have the room, you want one of those old school classic arcade cabinets. Except who the hell has $3,500 laying around for just to have that stuff? Arcade Classic 1-Ups has for $300. Like 5 games in a cabinet, and you can buy like a lift, like because it's like a smaller cabinet, and you can buy the lift for like $40, which kind of like lifts it up to like height level in case you don't want to sit in a chair. So I got an interview with them. I got an interview with a man by the name of V. Ken Marion, who is the artist on Green Lantern Corps. He did issues 6 through 15, I believe, on DC's Trinity. And he worked on a bunch of other books. So I got an interview with him. And I got a freaking huge Comic-Con haul that I'm going to be showing off a little bit tonight. And I'm going to save a special because I'm going to be doing a haul video. But I'm going to be saving a special reveal for that haul video. And I got an interview with a couple of other artists and writers from the con, just like various like independent people. So it was cool. It was great, but it was good, but not great. I thought last year's con was better. The reveals this year were just kind of lacking. Mezco had nothing new to show off. What are you doing? What is Mezco doing? You show off the Ghost Rider bike that looks like a friggin' Marvel Legend by everyone that loves Mezco. I'm the biggest Mezco fan there is out there. The Ghost Rider figure looks great. They revealed his bike. The bike looks like a Marvel Legend bike. Sorry. Not going to go fanboy on this one. And that was their only reveal at the con. The only other new store. Oh, go ahead, talk, because I've been rambling for a minute. Give me something. Let me recharge my battery.
Yo, I'm sold on that Green Lantern, John Stewart, man. He looks great.
Oh, I can't wait to see his other head sculpts, too, because he actually comes with, I think, 2 or 3 head sculpts. So you're going to be able to get the different versions of him. Yes. So you're going to be able to get him with the goatee, the bald head, no goatee with the little bit of a short hair do going on. So you'll have variations in, like, different versions of John Stewart. So that's awesome. But he was revealed already at Toy Fair. So the only real new reveal from them, I believe, was I put it up on the official Red Cup Facebook page. It was the Warrior. Like they showed the Warriors, and now they had the Furies, the guys that dress up in the Yankee outfits with the baseball bats. So I don't know if they're gonna be coming out with a 4-pack of them for the you Warrior fans. But that was it, and then nothing else new. So that's both a good and bad thing. See, I think Mezco kind of overplayed their hand. And they have figures that have been getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. For those of you Mezco guys, you're going to be getting hit right before Christmas with like 4 or 5 figures. We're all going to go bankrupt, and it's going to be a big shit show like it was last year. So it was a good thing that they didn't reveal anything new because they actually have to give us what they've been promising us for 2+ years, like that Darkseid figure. And I know you guys have that Darkseid figure waiting in the wings, and that's going to be a slam dunk from them. However, you can't do a con and reveal a motorcycle. Can't do it. You got to reveal something else new, or at least say, this is where we're going. Mezco doesn't do interviews anymore. You can't even get near them. They didn't have any of their PR people there. They had a cash register and 3 people working boxes to bring product to the front and a lady working the cash register, and that's it. Pierre was not there. He must have been working the floor. For those of you that are in with Mezco, you should know who Pierre is. He's one of their designers / PR people. They're not even giving interviews anymore, so that was whack. Moving on. Sideshow Collectibles had a fantastic reveal of the con. One reveal for 6 scale stuff. They had the Magneto figure. The actual the picture of tonight's show is going to be the Magneto figure. Here's a quick with a bunch of graphic design stuff all over him, but that Magneto head sculpt looks fantastic. However, it's just a prototype, and Sideshow is known to drop the ball on their 1/6 scale figures, but this Magneto actually does look very, very promising. He was very dominant floating up. They have him in like you're going to be able to have him like kind of floating and stuff with the magnetic stuff in his hands. Looks great. I actually got a chance to speak to Sideshow Susan. She does the every Wednesday. They do like the live thing. She's a big PR person. Got a chance to talk to her. She actually remembered me. So now I'm getting a little bit of rapport with her going on. However, I did not be able to get an interview with her this year, but I did get some behind the scenes stuff. And the only thing I was able to get, besides the fact that they're releasing more of their premium formats, and the newest one is their X23 one, but I don't collect big statues, so I really wasn't that interested. But to report to you guys, X23 giant monster statue coming out from them. Go check it out on the Sideshow website. Sideshow's doing X-Men figures now, so they're going to be doing a whole line of X-Men stuff. So they have their Captain America coming out. They're getting heavily into Marvel. They seem to be leaning off of DC with the exception of their new version of Joker and Batman that's been shown at the last Toy Con. And they're going to be doing the X-Men now. So you got Magneto is the first figure in their X-Men line. So if you want to build a 1/6 scale comic accurate X-Men line, Sideshow is the place to be. Juggernaut would be awesome. Yes, he would, but he would also probably be about this big. So you'd probably need like 2 cabinets to have him with the X-Men as well. Magneto.
Hold on. Speaking, you brought up getting hit, like with pre-orders this month. Wonder Woman shipped out. Deluxe, okay, for me for Hot Toys.
Okay.
And now they wanted to charge me for Hella within the same month.
Here it goes.
So I had to switch Hella to a payment plan because otherwise I would have gotten hit up for like $600 in 1 month.
I know, that's just insane. You see, this is what these companies do, and it's all right. You're lucky it's October, early October, because last year, Mezco kept pushing stuff back. I believe Hot Toys did too. And then in December, you got an onslaught of stuff. And it's like, yo, dude, Christmas, number 1. And number 2, you have after Christmas blues. So my belief is that if you're going to delay a figure to December, release 1 or 2. Well, not Hot Toys, but release 1 or 2 in the Mezco world. And then delay it just another month and kick it until like late January or something. Like, give people a chance to get funds from Christmas or from Hanukkah or whatever it is you celebrate, fatten your pockets up a little bit, and then you can spend your money on the pre-orders you guys got coming in. Okay.
Some people are bringing up G.I. Joe, Sideshow G.I. Joe. Robert, just a fan. Love Sideshow G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Sideshow G.I. Joe stuff is great. For their older stuff, I believe their last release was Deathstroke and Baroness, which look fantastic. I'm not doing 1/6 G.I. Joes. Then they got off of it too. They're not even doing that anymore. It's way in the background. There's a big push though for Mezco to pick up the G.I. Joe license, which I both hope and not hope they don't get, because that's a deep, deep hole, man. And I probably have to stick to just the ninjas and just the base, maybe like 5 good guys, 5 bad guys, and be done with it and just put it in one of the shelves. But that would be great. You know, they look really awesome in 1/6 scale, but this is the scale right here to be in for G.I. Joes. Okay.
Yo, what's up, Christian? What's up, Kenny?
Oh, nice. What's up, fellas? Okay, so here's the let's get into the meat and potatoes of the 1/6 community.
Well, wait, hold on one second. I got a G.I. Joe question. Who puts out that Serpentor statue? I saw that over the weekend. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I saw that too. I don't know the company that puts that out because I just was scrolling and I happened to catch it, and I didn't know if it was a newer statue or an older one. But I caught it too. I really don't know what that is. If anybody that's in the chat room that wants to look up the Serpentor, the new Serpentor statue, just type in Google new Serpentor statue. I hate to give you guys homework to do, but you guys are part of the family. If you're in the chat room, please come in and answer Baz's question with what company that is, and we'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on it. Okay, so here's the bombshell that happened this week, and this is something that that we all can relate to in a personal experience for one time or another, not specifically like this, but maybe something like this that may have happened to us at one time or another. I know it surely happened to me at one point. Okay, there's a debacle, the Molecule 8 debacle. For those of you that don't know, Molecule 8 was a new up-and-coming company that was taking pre-orders for a John Lennon figure that a 1/6 scale company that came out, took pre-orders for this gorgeous John Lennon figure that came out. It did eventually come out, but it was delayed for like 2 years. And what they did was this company took everybody's money up front. So they asked for like $250 or $300 for this figure up front in full payment. Then had people waiting like 2 years to actually receive their toy, which is just freaking unheard of. Now, the reason why they got such a big push for this was the figure looked great because it was sculpted by a lady by the name of K.A. Kim. K.A. Kim is probably the best head sculptor on the 1/6 market. I don't know offhand which ones in my collection she did, but I could show you a picture in here of head sculpts that she did do. Here's the original John Lennon sculpt, and here is also the other sculpts that she was supposed to do for this company. Okay, she was going to do John Lennon, 2 different head sculpts. I don't know who the guy in the bottom right-hand corner is, and 2 David Bowie sculpts, which look absolutely fantastic. Okay,
that's my boy Bowie.
Now these figures are not coming out. Okay, well the did. Well, here's the debacle. So K.A. Kim was approached by the guy from Molecule 8. I don't know his name. It begins with a V or something or other. It's all over Facebook. And he approached her and said, hey, listen, come to my company, do these head sculpts, and we're going to pay you 1/5 of the product price up front. So there was a price, right? They don't tell you what the price is, undisclosed. And she was going to get 1/5 of the payment up front. And then the other, 80% was going to be given to her as each head sculpt came out and pre-orders went out and money came in. They were going to be paying her based on sales. She agreed to this. She does these 5 head sculpts. Molecule 8 disappears. Remember, there's like a 2-year gap where there was no Lennon figure. So the Lennon figure comes out, and while the head sculpt is good, it's kind of warped looking. Doesn't look like it would be K.A. Kim's work, because K.A. Kim's work is fantastic. And even besides the prototype versions, all right, you know how the prototype always looks better than the actual final product? Well, K.A. Kim's stuff is so good that the shit looks like prototype when it comes out for mass market. Okay, so the stuff just didn't look as good. So what the hell's going on? Basically what this guy did, this piece of shit, okay, was he took her head sculpt that she made, the master copy, and went and had it recasted. He went to a recaster and had it recasted multiple times. When you have something recasted, especially shoddily, the face gets warped a little. It may shrink. It may get bigger. So the proportions will be off a little bit. While the integrity of the sculpt will still look pretty good, depending on if the recast was done properly, or it could look like complete shit. It still isn't her work. So he turns around and tells her, yeah, I don't got to pay you no more. Like, I'm not paying you because we're not using your head sculpts. We're using recasts of your original work. So now she's not entitled to her stuff anymore. There's the bomb, right? What a piece of shit to be able to do this. Sorry for the kiddies at home watching, but this is terrible. So,
no, it's like 10:38. There's no kiddies up.
So the guy recasts the head, totally locks her out. Now she's faced with whether or not she should take him to court or not, and Lord knows what the rules are like overseas for this type of stuff. So he recasts the head, locks her out of the money. In the meantime, he started taking pre-orders for a new figure that was not related to anything she had already done. The next Molecule 8 figure was supposed to be Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory's Willy Wonka done Gene Wilder from Willy Wonka. And the figure looked great. Again, he approached another artist, not K.A. Kim, to do this. And it was like, here's the prototype. Just like I showed you guys recently, the prototype of those figures, of what was supposed to be the David Bowie and everything else. Give us time. We're coming out. And when the Molecule 8 stuff actually dropped, the clothes were very well done. The body was okay. For those people that are in the know about 1/6 scale figures, the figures were kind of shitty. But for those that were kind of like casual collectors, they were great. They were passable. However, it was a complete shit show and sham. K.A. Kim got locked out of her money, and now this guy's faced with a lawsuit, and he's basically disappearing. Molecule 8's gone. Website under construction. Peace. See you later, everybody. Thanks for the money that I took in advance, and now the company has gone under. And what happens when a company goes bankrupt? We don't owe the public shit. Nobody gets their money back. The artist doesn't get paid. The people don't get their money back. And this guy disappears into the night. So people have been sharing this all over Facebook. So for those of you collectors that are actually watching, we only have 10 viewers in here now. Go out there, check out the Moleculate site, look up K.A. Kim on the Facebook, go look at the 1/6 what is it, 1/6 collectors and the Sideshow Collector page on Facebook, and try to catch this and spread the news about this piece of shit, because we need to out people like this. Yes, it is majorly effed up, Master Toy Museum. Yes, it is. So that's a bomb. That's a big hit to the community, because it's a big hit to people's pockets. You got an artist like K.A. Kim, who is the best. She's not gonna, be interested in doing sculpts for small companies anymore. You got to be lucky if Hot Toys approaches her, a company like Hot Toys or a company like Asmus that's actually like already established, and they're gonna have to pay the big bucks because she's super in demand for this type of stuff. Small companies that are going to come up to try to give competition to Hot Toys and the likes like that are going to be hard pressed to be able to get somebody like her, and especially other artists that are just maybe not as good, but maybe, burping on the air, just as good, to want to lend their talents, because they're just not going to want to do that because they're going to be a fear of getting ripped off again. So who made it? It's awesome. I don't know. What are they talking about here? I just got a Superman Bionic Man. It's a sweet figure. Okay, so they're talking to each other in chat room. That's good. Good talking to each other with the fam. Anyways, for anybody watching right now, the public service announcement, please share this on your personal pages. Get your friends to come in and join in. Please remember to like the video and share and all that other good stuff. This way we can grow the community. So next week we can have 50 people in the chat room. And for those of you who are YouTubers, I'll invite you guys on the show. I already had Nick Knack's Plastic Planet on. I had Yay Toys Plus on, and I'm looking to have other people on as well as guests. So please have your friend come and join the Red Cup family so we can build this up, because a rising tide does lift all boats.
Kevin's Matrix read my mind. Aquaman and Teen Titans trailers. What do we think?
Yes. Okay. So to get off of the 1/6 stuff, I got my favorite Aquaman figure on the desk from one of my favorite action figure lines of all time, and that is the DC Universe Classics. I'm absolutely in love with this head sculpt. To this day, it is still one of, if not my absolute favorite head sculpt for a 6-inch figure, and it is of Aquaman. And the Aquaman trailer dropped, the final trailer before the movie comes out, I do believe. It really wasn't much of a trailer. It was more like a short movie. It was like 6 minutes long.
Everybody's commenting like, "Thank you for showing us the movie, DC."
Yeah, really. Like does DC really need to kind of show every friggin' scene from their movie? Like, I watched that trailer and I fell in love with the movie. I loved it. It looks great, but I don't have to see it now because
scale. I was already sold. I was already sold by the movie, but they showed the character interaction between Arthur and Mera, and they were hysterical together. I laughed out loud a few times.
What I think is really cool about this, and they're continuing the trend of what they did with Aquaman in the Justice League movie. Whether you like Justice League movie or not, Aquaman was great in it, and they're letting Jason Momoa actually talk instead of just grunt all the time now. And he's actually a pretty charismatic, pretty funny dude, so I like that. I like his little surfer kind of too cool for school attitude as Aquaman. I think it works perfectly. I thought the trailer looked great. All the CGI stuff, yeah, it's gonna look good. The whole riding great white sharks and big fight scenes and all that bullshit. That's gonna be the end of the movie. The movie's gonna end in one big giant CGI crap fest. I have a feeling I'm gonna love the movie up until the end, and then the ending's gonna blow my mind visually, but it's gonna be paint by numbers from what I'm telling from the trailer. However, all the interactions with Arthur being in the desert and hanging with Mera and finding the city of Atlantis and all that shit looks absolutely wonderful. It's funny when I saw them walking through the sand dunes. It reminded me of Uncharted 3. For those you video gamers, it reminded me of when Nathan Drake was walking through the sand dunes and stuff, and I thought it was just pretty funny. I think it looks mad funny. I think it looks cool, fun, and exciting. I was watching this with Grayson, and a 7-year-old looked at me and goes, "This isn't a trailer. This is a TV show. Are we watching a TV show?" So, what'd you think?
I think Mera is gonna like this is gonna be her breakout. She as a character, she's gonna really get huge after this movie because
Yeah.
Mera has always been a really good underrated character, and just everyone who sees her, like just visually and attitude wise, her powers, they love her immediately. So yeah, I'm happy that this character is gonna get its due. I've always loved Mera. Um, it, the character interaction, the dynamic between the two actors is great. It has a Lord of the Rings type epic feel to it in scope. Um, but it has to because you're dealing with Atlantis, the legendary city under the sea. So it has to be big, and the special effects look up to par. So I'm really excited. I've always loved Aquaman. So Aquaman's one of my favorite
One
heroes.
problem I had with the trailer, which was a big thumbs up and a big thumbs down from when I'm in the theater, is that whole sequence where they're actually running on the rooftops and Black Manta shows up and they're like, "Oh shit, who's this guy?" And he hits Aquaman with the eye blast and blasts him through the wall. What is up with DC having to give you the big moment for? Like when Wonder Woman shows up in Batman vs Superman, they had to show that, which could have been one of the greatest reveals in movie history. And they show it in BVS in the coming attractions, and it just kind of falls flat when you see it in the theater because you've already saw it. I'm watching this whole action sequence in the trailer, and I'm like, wow, this looks amazing. But I want to be in the theater screaming and clapping. I don't want to just be sitting in my house watching this shit on my phone.
Like when Clash of the Titans came out and they had to show Lee.
All right, dude, stop complaining. The movie's going to be a hit, and it looks great.
Yeah, but you like anything. You like everything and anything, and you're like, stop complaining. I gotta see. I want to be surprised. You like to read spoilers and all that shit. I don't want spoilers because then I sit in the theater and I go, all right, I've already seen this. Okay, this is cool. It's just bigger on the screen. I want to see.
No, I agree too. I got pissed. I got pissed off too because I was like, "Yo, I feel like I'm watching like a large chunk of the movie that I would have rather have watched in the friggin' theater."
Whatever. Big Vel, Miss Bell over here brings up a good point. It reminded her of when Clash of the Titans remake came out, and you had that scene where bring out the Kraken, and then you see the Kraken, and it's like, come on, man, why are you showing us the?
You know what? Everyone is guilty of doing that nowadays, man.
It's ridiculous.
It's not just
man.
DC. It's
go.
Everybody.
You gotta go.
Show way too much.
Bring out the Kraken, and the trailer ends. And then everyone goes, oh, my God, I got to see what the Kraken looks like, with like maybe some off shots of just the arms waving or something. And in this case, have Black Manta they already showed him shooting the eye blast. That whole moment where he comes through the wall with his boys, leave it alone, man. Let us have that oh shit moment in the theater.
And Swallow writes, that's the problem with Venom. They show everything in the trailer. They showed a lot in the trailer, but there is a lot more that you don't see in the movie. So it's not like you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie. I saw Venom Thursday and I loved it, so I recommend it. But yeah, that's everyone has that. Everyone does that. They just spoil too much in the trailers. They don't have confidence enough in what they're putting out.
That's ridiculous at this point. It's freaking ridiculous. You don't have confidence in what you're putting out. You have a massive audience that's dying for this stuff and starving for it. And even though half the world is divided on, oh, DC sucks, I'm not going to see them. Marvel, all day and all night. It's like, all right, well, while the Marvel fanboys chill over here, then you have the DC fanboys over here. Then you have people in the middle like me and Baz who kind of like everything. We just want more of this stuff. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to show off your whole hand in order to get more people to come and see your movie. Add a little bit of element of mystery. I feel as though every time they do this, DC's reeling, going, oh my God. No, it's not even DC. It's Warner Brothers going, please come see our movies. There's no need for it, bro. You don't have to give us everything.
I'll tell you what, right now, DC's going to be in an upswing. They got Aquaman, they got Shazam coming out, and Marvel just has what? Captain Marvel and, well, of course, Avengers Infinity War. I mean, that's huge. But other than the final installment of Infinity War, they don't really have much. So, DC already hit rock bottom with Justice League. So
you mentioned something before about Mera that just hit me. Marvel doesn't have any real girl DC characters. What am I talking about? Marvel doesn't really have any girl characters. besides like Black Widow, which they built up, and now they're trying with Captain Marvel. Most of their real cool characters are on the X-Men, whereas DC has a lot of really cool female characters. And it seems like even when you go to cons, you got girls dressing up to be Harley Quinn. Everyone loves Wonder Woman, especially the Wonder Woman movie was great. It seems like DC's got another real good, funny, fun, cool, powerful female character coming in Mera, and she's like a C-list character, really. She only recently became popular in the comics. And hopefully they do the same thing with Black Canary and who's the other one that they have coming out? It's Black Canary and Huntress. So DC's got a lot of really strong female characters that they don't have to make the male characters look weak by comparison. It's almost like Marvel had Black Widow, and Black Widow's an assassin. So Disney was like, well, we can't have an assassin movie. It's coming eventually. They'll find a way to make it more Disneyized or kid-friendly. And I'm all for that because I love the Marvel movies. But they have an assassin who grew up learning how to kill people as their main cell, right? Then they have to have all the Avengers defeated. Everybody that's awesome get their ass kicked by Thanos in order for Captain Marvel, the one female savior, to come and save the day, to build up this character. And is her movie going to be good? Yeah, probably. They haven't really swung and missed yet with any of their movies. But it seems like with Marvel, they have to kind of dumb the male characters down in order to lift up the female characters. Whereas DC just has awesome female characters that are just freaking awesome because they're just awesome. You know, I mean, it sounds like a fanboy way of saying it, but I don't know what other way to say it because the characters are more established. They're cool and unique, and they stand out a lot more. Unless you're talking about like the X-Men, and most of the girls on the X-Men are freaking great. I mean, let's face it, Kitty Pryde, Rogue, Storm, all great characters. But I think DC just has them in the field. Female department. Dark Phoenix. Yeah, Dark Phoenix is coming soon, but that movie looks like shit. So that doesn't count because I already ranted about that movie last week, X3 2.0. Baz, what do you think about DC's female characters in general? I know you love them.
They're excellent. I saw somebody else say that the other day, that all of Marvel's female characters, good female characters, are on teams. So
yeah, it looks like Marvel's
they don't have the rights.
This Riri character, Riri Iron Man, Riri Ironheart, in a cartoon that's coming out. I'm not going to comment on this character because I have no experience with this, but I know that was a big part of that whole Marvel push to arbitrarily turn everybody. All the male characters have to be female. All the female characters have to be male. Everyone has to switch genders and switch ethnicities just to make it fun again and exciting. I don't buy into that bullshit. Just make a new cool character. You know, like maybe Riri should have been like, you know, related to James Rhodes or something. Like that's what I like about the DC characters is that when they do come up with a new character, there's a legacy effect. I'm reading the JSA right now by Jeff Johns for the second time. I'm going through their run, and you have multiple Mr. Terrifics. You have multiple versions of Sandman. Sandman passed the mantle onto this character called Sand, who became the new leader in the first two trades. I believe in the end of the first trade, becomes the leader of the JSA. There's a legacy. DC has like legacy characters, which work great because they're passing the mantle on. I don't see Marvel doing that.
Marvel doesn't know how to do it. They did it all at once. They did it like almost as if it was a fad. You know what I mean? They replaced everyone all at once. You know, and it was like it didn't work. I mean, DC knows how to do it in a subtle way. They know how to do it right.
Oh, real quick, not to jump back again to another thing, because I know we're really jumping all over the friggin' place tonight. It's ACI Toys, which is another 1/6 scale company that hasn't come out with anything in a long time. ACI Toys called out Chronicle Collectibles, and Chronicle Collectibles puts out 1/4 scale, like really super detailed statue / like toy characters. They're doing a whole Jurassic Park line that looks really good. That was revealed for the con. ACI Toys called them out on doing the same thing that was done to K.A. Kim in the conversation we had earlier with being ripped off, and it almost crushed ACI Toys as a company altogether. So keep a watch out for that for those that are into the 1/6 scale stuff, because it seems like ACI is popping shots off now at Chronicle Collectibles, which is a huge company in its own right. So I don't know how the hell that goes, but it was basically official post by ACI Toys saying You know, our heart goes out to K.A. Kim and screw Molecule 8. And the same thing happened to us with Chronicle Collectibles. And they tagged them in the post and said, you know what you did. In so many words, you know what you did. And it cost our company to go back 2 years. Like, it kind of put us back 2 years with this. Because I believe at last year's Comic-Con, they showed off a bunch of Conan figures, which I went absolutely over the moon for. It was like Conan from the movie Conan the Barbarian. So it was like a regular Conan. It had him with like his makeup on, where he attacks Thulsa Doom in the castle, and they had him holding Thulsa Doom's severed head. And there was a few other things. I believe there was some Jurassic Park type stuff. And ACI Toys has a bone to pick with them, specifically over those releases that were never released and kind of disappeared into obscurity. So stay tuned for more news on that. And that's really all I have to say, because there's really nothing else to say, because nothing else came out on that. But,
Kenny says he loves your Snake Plissken hot toy. What's up with that? Where'd you get that from?
This is the Snake Plissken is a sideshow figure. I can't take him out right now to show him off. Maybe I'll have him on next week's episode. But this was a sideshow. Collectibles has like this. They haven't done one in a while, which kind of sucks. For a while, they were doing once a year. They were doing like these cult classic lines where they had a Snake Plissken. They had a Beetlejuice. The Beetlejuice came out kind of whack, or I would have him as well. And they had one other character, and they were trying to do Deckard, I believe, from Blade Runner as well. They're not as good as Hot Toys. They look great. I think it looks great. A lot of people crap all over this figure. I think it looks awesome. I actually took some paint and I kind of brushed up his boots a little bit. I weathered his guns and his outfit. The jacket came a little bit too perfect, so I took some sandpaper and roughed him up a little bit. And I had his head sculpt repainted. I paid for somebody in the city to repaint his head sculpt and reposition the eye on it to make it look more like Kurt Russell. And it came out really, really good. Once that was done, I was perfectly satisfied with it. But he is a sideshow release, sideshow 1/6 scale. Okay, what book? Oh yes, speaking of Snake Plissken and Comic-Con and everything else we've been talking about tonight, I have a preview of my Comic-Con haul. Does everybody want to see what my Comic-Con haul was? Because I got a stack of shit over here that I could show you guys.
I've got a little hole too. I want to show you.
Nice.
That really sounded bad.
Where the hell is the book? Here it is. What sounded bad?
I got a little hole I want to show you.
Got a little hole. Okay. I was walking by a booth in Comic-Con, and this is what's cool about walking by booths that are of companies that are not well known, like indie booths. Like I'm starting to get more into the indie stuff. And I walked by this booth called Boom Comics. The name of the company is Boom, and they put out comic books and trade paperbacks and stuff, stories. And Greg Pak apparently wrote this. It's a Big Trouble in Little China meets Escape from New York trade, where Snake Plissken actually meets Jack Burton. It says on the back, Jack Burton meets Snake Plissken. And it's all the villains and heroes, and they join up together and go on an adventure, which I don't know how the hell it's going to turn out, but I saw this and I flipped through it, and I says, you know what? This looks really cool. The art is pretty good. Yeah, here's the two of them on the inside right there. Snake Plissken and Jack Burton together again for the first time. So I picked up this trade, and I got myself, I went a little over. What?
You know, he was doing Russell was doing a John Wayne impression in Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, yeah, was he?
Yeah.
Nice. I might have to go revisit that movie then to check that out. Okay, Batman trades. Batman Rebirth trades. I got 4 of them. I got trades 3 through 6. I got the I Am Bane issue trade. I got the War of Jokes and Riddles.
Nice.
I got the Rules of Engagement, Batman riding on a horse. I just love this. I love Tom King. I think he writes Batman excellently. There's a lot of debate on whether or not people like him. And the lead into The Bride or Burglar, which led into The Wedding. I don't know what happened at the wedding. Please don't ruin it. Please don't write it in the comments. But those are the trades that lead up to the Batman wedding that I know winded up falling apart or something like that. So I got those trades and a bunch of others. Baz, is there anything you want to show off real quick before I keep digging into my pile here?
You bringing up Batman just sparked my memory about something to do with the convention. I forgot to bring up the 2-pack from for Craven and Spider-Man in the black outfit, which is supposed to be Craven's last hunt.
Yeah, I saw that Marvel Legends has that 2-pack coming out. It looked pretty good.
Which is like Craven's last hunt is like Spider-Man, but like for a Batman fan. That story, like a dark Spider-Man story.
Yeah, it was it was an excellent story. That's another one I would like to get my hands on that trade as well. Like that's like one like a story you got to get in complete form.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so my haul is for this week. I've been searching for this damn thing for 3 weeks, and it's I finally found it 2 days ago at Walgreens. The Walgreens exclusive thing.
Nice, the thing. I'm surprised you were able to get him.
Yeah, he was hard. So he was a hard thing. So I got him.
Solid as a rock.
Solid as my thing. And I picked up Ocean Master, Orm, Aquaman's brother. Got him on eBay.
Nice. That's DC Universe Classics?
DC Universe Classics, the Signature Series.
Yeah, the mail away stuff, right?
Very nice sculpt.
And
you're gonna love this one.
Matty Collector wanted you to subscribe to 30 figures without seeing any of them.
Oh, those were the days, right? Okay, and we got this statue, which you're gonna love. This is beautiful. It's classic. DC Direct. Let me switch the phone.
Ooh, what's that?
See it?
Well, now I see you. I didn't see it. I saw it for 1 second. Come on, go back.
1 second. Okay. There you go.
Nice. Where the hell did you get that? That's excellent.
Yeah, I picked it up on eBay. It's what you call it? Classic Superman cover from the 40s.
What
you
size?
Got Superman with the American Eagle. I'd say maybe 8 inches.
That's a nice friggin'. That's cool, man. That's really classy.
Yeah, right. It pops. You put it on your shelf. It just takes it over.
That's very nice. That's very, very nice. That's something you put up on your shelf where like the eyes are, you got to put that in the center. That's a centerpiece, you know?
Oh yeah.
The eyes are going to go right to that. It says here, Daredevil comics supposed to kill off Daredevil in October issue. My Kingpin 1/6 arrived Friday. Oh, you have Kev's Matrix apparently has a what does he have there? Probably like a kit bash. I hate using that word too. Kit bash of Kingpin. So Kev, when you get that Kingpin, post it to the official Red Cup review page. I have 2 Red Cup review pages on Facebook. I have Red Cup review, like where like it's like the page where I put up like, oh, hey, subscribe to this and you can catch my videos and all that bullshit. Then I have the official Red Cup review community. Go join the official Red Cup community, everybody, because that's a page for you guys. It's a page for the family to come and share pictures of your hauls and share pictures of this and say, hey, Rob, check this out. And hey, nice to meet you on the live show. It's kind of like it's for the community to kind of come together and join it. So, Kev, when that figure comes out, when you get that figure in the mail, definitely post it in the official Red Cup review community and let everybody see your stuff, man. That would be great. Okay. Nice. I want the Fletcher statue.
Hold on. Kev's Matrix says, nice, very cool statue. Thanks. Robert, just a fan, says, nice. I want the Fleischer statue carrying Lois. Yeah, that was one of them that I was looking at. That and the one that was drawn by Gary Frank carrying Lois, and the base is the Daily Planet. I was with those two, and then I found this one, and I fell in love with it. So I got this one.
Very nice. Yeah, no, I'm sure they both would look. Either one would look great, but that one you showed is really nice. All right, I'm gonna go on a rapid fire tangent right here, and I'm gonna leave you guys with a small cliffhanger. Not for the show, but for the next video I'll be posting. Probably tomorrow I'll be doing this. Okay, so Justice League Dark Side War. I got put onto this from Frank Castle, Frankie Fearless, actually. For those of you that are into like spirituality and stuff like that, Frankie Fearless has a YouTube channel as well. He put me onto this by making me watch a gentleman by the name of Comics Historian. I believe comics historian. He's a YouTuber that just talks about like comics and what's going on and stuff like that. And I watched The Dark Side War, fell in love with it, so I had to buy it so I could actually read it myself. The next 2 issues of Kill or Be Killed. Oh, not issues, next 2 trades, rather. This is the newest series from Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. For those that want something that's not comic related and that's just freaking awesome, something that you'll read and make you go, this is better than anything with superheroes in it. Go read anything Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips do. Everything they do is a must own, must buy. So Kill or Be Killed is an excellent freaking series about, I believe there's the story is there's a kid who wakes up and a demon, or so he like prays to a demon. A demon comes and visits him and tells him he needs to kill somebody every 30 days or he will die himself. I believe he tries to kill himself. The trade opens up with this kid tries to kill himself and falls and he's dying and he regrets it. So he asks to live and a demon comes to him and heals him. And then the demon's like, I've given you life. Now you have every 30 days towards the end of the month, you'll start to get sick and eventually I'll take your life and I'll own your soul. So you have to kill for me. So the kid eventually...
That sounds fucking awesome.
Dude, Ed Brubaker is Jesus Christ on wheels when it comes to writing. Like everybody needs to go out and buy this guy's stuff. So every month he has to kill somebody. So he starts killing off like drug dealers and like bad people. So he becomes like a low-level Punisher, but he has no powers. He has no guns. He's just a guy. He's a kid. He's actually a kid. I think he's in his early 20s. And he like refuses to do it. And then the demon comes to him in the mirror and in his dreams. And he's like, you better do it or I'm going to own your soul and all this stuff. It's crazy. So very excellent series. Keep it moving. I'll be doing a review on these. I actually have an interview with the guy who wrote this. This was part of Boom at the Boom booth that I got the Snake Plissken trade from. These are 2 like weird esoteric-y type trades. And this one, Cloud was nominated for some kind of an award, but it was the artist is from Italy and the writer is from Greece. And he gave me a really cool interview. You guys can catch that in a couple of weeks when I put that up. Instead of the artist and writer signing the book, the artist actually did a watercolor painting on the inside of the book here for me. And this book is called Run Wild. And the story behind this book is that it's about a brother and a sister who go to bed and wake up, and everyone on Earth has turned into an animal. And they have their human mind still, but the human race is turning into different animals. And the story is about how this brother and sister have to try to exist and figure out what's going on, but they start to change into animals as well. And how do you cope with giving up your humanity and turning into an animal while retaining your mind? That's the idea behind that trade. Obviously, I got the Samurai Wolverine and the Doctor Strange, which is on the table here. And I got 2 other books. I visited the what is this? I visited the Inside Editions table, and I got this thing called A Million Ways to Die Hard, which is basically a trade that's written by Frank Terry and illustrated by Mark Texeira. For those of you that know Mark Texeira's work from early Ghost Rider. And this is basically John McClane's last story. It's supposed to be his last story about he's back in New York and he's, on the balls of his ass. And somebody's imitating movies, like different, like famous movie death scenes. And they're making him jump through the hoops the way Hans Gruber's brother did in Die Hard 3. So I wanted to pick up that trade. And I also picked up the last book I got was Anatomy of a Superhuman, which is basically like it's kind of like comes across as like a Da Vinci type book. It's all about the characters in the DC universe, and it's written from the perspective of Batman. So it's basically all the Justice League characters and Batman breaking down their powers and how he would stop them. And it's like written almost in like script and stuff. So it's like a really nice coffee table book. I had to get my hands on this, especially since it's written from Batman's perspective. There's 2 other items I got in the haul I'm not showing off tonight. You guys are going to have to catch the whole video, which will probably be recorded tomorrow, maybe released the next day, where I have, I'll give you a little hint. I got artwork. I got a big piece of artwork at the con, and it's really nice, and tune into that next video. That's your little cliffhanger. I got a very nice piece of original comic book art I'll show off in the next video.
Well, going back to that Dark Side War trade you got, the artist on that, Jason Fabok, is one of the best in comics today working. He's amazing.
Jason, yeah, I took a look at it. Looked like his Wonder Woman, which is what stuck out to me when I was holding the trade in my hand, was just freaking outrageous. Yeah, really nice stuff. Really, really, yeah. No, this guy's artwork is incredible. Here's a quick taste since you brought it up. I don't know if you guys could see that, but give you an idea what the inside stuff looks like. Okay, so that's my Comic-Con haul.
That's the Flash and the Black Racer combined in that scene right there.
Nice. That's freaking awesome. Love the old school Kirby type stuff. Okay, we're gonna wrap the show up, but not before we hit off on a few more things. The final Mezco Batman will be called Supreme Knight. So for those of you that have your Mezco figures, you have Sovereign Knight coming out early next year, probably in January or February. The Sovereign Knight stuff drops, and the final one will be called Supreme Knight. DC Primal Age figures. What's your take on these? They're like Funko is releasing these old Masters of the Universe figures. What happened?
They look like the name of the company that's making them. They look fun, dude. They're a mixture of retro Masters of the Universe and DC Comics. What's not to love? You got they're putting out two Beasts. They're putting out a play set that's modeled after the original Castle Grayskull, but it's what you call it. It's the Batcave instead of it being Castle Grayskull, and basically it's Masters of the Universe meets DC. So you have like Savage World type versions of these characters.
My take on it when I saw these things, I was like, from afar, I went, "Oh, those look really cool. What's that?" And I walked over to it and I says, "You know what? These things to me, they look cool. Like, okay, that looks cool, but I would never buy it. I think that companies are this whole idea, the mythology of it, I'm down for. I think it's a great idea. Reimagining the DC characters in like an Age of Conan or a He-Man type adventure thing. Very cool idea. I love the way they smash these ideas together and come up with like these new ideas born from two that merge together. However, the figures are stiff. They're modeled very much after the original Masters of the Universe figures, and we're past that. Give me figures with articulation and give me the same idea. I want the same thing, but with modern sculpts and modern articulation.
Well, then you're gonna the whole appeal of it is the charm of it being exactly like the originals. If you want more articulation, the price is going to go up. You're going to pay $20+ for these figures. I think the price point's like anywhere from $10 to $13, $14 for each figure. So they're affordable.
Yeah, well, they're definitely affordable at that price range. But they look. I mean, they look cool. It's like novel. It's not something I would put in my collection. So I'm kind of like, whatever.
It's a novelty. It's a niche.
But what's cool though is that they can come out with a possible comic book. Or a trade or something like that, like the way they did with Injustice. Maybe they'll do like DC, the Dark Age, and have like a story to read. Like that, I would be down for. Okay.
It'll be like an Elseworlds type thing.
Perfect. Exactly. Last two things of the night. The Mandalorian, Star Wars. Jon Favreau dropped an actual on-set photo of The Mandalorian. And that will be the name of the new Star Wars series. And he looks great. And that is why Boba Fett is on the table. Our favorite Mandalorian. No more, obviously. So this story takes place between episode 6 and episode 7. And it's going to follow the adventures of this Mandalorian character who basically looks like a more modernized version of Boba Fett. But we're going to get more of him. We'll have this guy actually beating people's asses, so he may become actually cooler than Boba Fett if we actually get to see him do some badass stuff, which it's Jon Favreau, so it's going to work out. What do you think of the Mandalorian? Like the outfit? I know you're not into Star Wars anymore because of what went on with the past movies, but I'm sure you've seen the picture. Anything?
Yeah, it looks kind of cool.
Okay, there you go. Harley Quinn cartoon on DC streaming. We're going to close the night with the Harley Quinn cartoon. I think it looks great.
I didn't see it. It looks good.
Oh, my God. The teaser trailer looks great, dude. It's Harley Quinn breaking the fourth wall, talking to the camera, saying you got it. She's being played by the actress that was in The Big Bang Theory. I don't know her name. The blonde from The Big Bang Theory is playing Harley Quinn in the series. And it's her second time playing Harley Quinn, to my understanding. And she starts off by talking to the camera and saying stuff like, hey, you know, come and watch my new cartoon show. It's going to be great. And if you don't, I'm going to bash your fucking brains in, she says. And then the camera pans back, and sitting next to her is Poison Ivy in the jail cell. And she's like, yeah, they're not going to watch it. No one cares. Right? So she's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's like, oh, everything's got to be dark these days. And Poison Ivy's basically poking fun at the fact that, like, we have fanboys that hate everything, and no matter what we do, they're not going to like it, which is kind of like a wink to the Titans trailer.
So this is breaking the fourth wall.
Breaking the fourth wall. It's very funny. And then Batman drops in from the background, like in like the window on the outside of the jail cell. And it's Diedrich Bader, dude, doing Batman's voice for the series, which I think is just friggin' excellent.
That's cool. That's cool.
So you got Diedrich Bader saying, like, you're not going anywhere, Harley. And his little thing that he says to the two of them, and he disappears. And you have Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy breaking the fourth wall, going back and forth. They mentioned that she goes, unlike the Deadpool cartoon, our cartoon's actually coming out. So they pop a shot at Marvel. They break the fourth wall. It's fun. It looks exciting. And then the trailer the teaser trailer ends with her going, so it'll be great, so you should come and watch it. And then you just hear off camera Poison Ivy say, nope, they're gonna hate it. Like, no one cares, you know. So it's kind of funny. They're poking fun of themselves. And I was like, you know what, I don't want a Harley Quinn cartoon. I really don't give a shit about them taking characters that are like, we're this big and trying to blow them up to this big, but this actually looks very fun and exciting. And definitely down to watch that. I actually liked it more than I liked what I saw from Titans. Speaking of Titans,
Titans actually, a few critics, some critics got the first 3 or so episodes, and it's getting good reviews. So
yes, the guy I spoke to, V. Ken Marion, that I got the interview with, he said he saw the first 2 episodes and was completely blown away. He said that the way they depict Dick Grayson is one of the best versions of any hero ever. He's like, yo, dude, this is like one of the best versions of a superhero on film, period. He's like, from the costume, the way he fights, and the way the guy just acts as Dick Grayson, it's one of the best things you're ever going to see. And he said that off camera to me, so this isn't even like him plugging the show. He did plug the show in the interview, but off camera, he was just talking to me about the show. So that gives promise. So it seems like Starfire, that's not her final form. She is going to be in her outfit. Her hair is probably going to change as well. So this is just like a preliminary showing you, like, okay, this is where the Titans are, and they're going to grow into the heroes that we want them to be. So that's good news. So that gave me a little glimmer of hope. And once I got all these glimmers of hope, great show, great reviews, Starfire is not going to be a hooker the whole time. Then I turn around and I read an interview today with the actor that plays Robin, and where the whole fuck Batman thing came from. Okay, why? Why does he say that? In this universe, Batman is a killer. Again, what are you doing?
Wow.
Batman is a killer, and Robin is vicious and semi-murderous, has murderous tendencies because Batman corrupted him as a child, and then he left Batman and says, fuck Batman, because he doesn't want to be that way anymore. So apparently when he crushes the guy's skull in the trailer and then goes, fuck Batman, he's wrestling with this, like, from when I was a young kid, basically the same idea of Hit Girl, from the comic book version of Hit Girl, where, like, she was raised to be like this crazy lunatic vigilante serial killer by her father. They're doing that with Batman, and he had to leave Batman because he didn't want to become like Batman and become a more Punisher-esque version of Batman. So Batman is like this crazy killer character, and Robin is trying to break away from him. Facepalm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you have to change these dynamics up. Batman is a dark, grumpy bastard, and Robin is not a happy-go-lucky guy, but he's the light side to Batman's dark side. You have your stories already written. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. I don't like Batman. 2 things in my headcanon that are consistent. 1, Captain America is never a Hydra agent in the multiverse. Captain America should never be a defector of the U.S. He should always be one way, shape, or form a version of that in my headcanon. And Batman should never kill. It's just the way it is. I don't like it. I don't like that idea. Not because I'm a dad now. I just think that like it's something that's so integral to everything that he is. Now, Batman used to be a killer. We know in 1939 he had his guns and was killing people. We get it, but he's grown way past that. Like we have 70 years of between now and then where that was his code of honor, and they're just going to toss it out to give Robin a storyline, which is probably going to work. Well, I'll watch it and suspend disbelief and all that, but right now I'm kind of like, oh. More.
Listen, I'm cool with different interpretations of Batman. The more towards realism that you do Batman, the more you're going to have to understand that Batman is going to kill, even just by accident. I mean, the way he just from the strength of his strikes, he's going to kill somebody. Just from the situation that he finds himself against criminals.
Yeah, but that's fine. It's like when Captain America punches people in the Avengers movies, you know, he's crippling them and crushing them and killing them. Most likely they're landing on their heads. As long as it happens off screen or he's not intentionally trying to murder somebody. Robert Joseph Fan wrote No Bloodhaven. Nope, there's no Bloodhaven. To my knowledge, it takes place in Detroit. So he leaves Gotham City and goes to Detroit and becomes his own person. That's where the story
And Grayson is a cop in it.
Yeah, he's a cop in Detroit. So whatever. I mean, look, it's an Elseworld story. Let's just face it. All these stories, even at the Arrow TV series, where we know Arrow is the Bruce Wayne on that show, and he's basically Batman in that universe, even though he really isn't Batman in that universe, because now they're introducing Batgirl and all this other stuff. We get it. He's Batman on that show. In this Elseworld story, that's what he is. In this Titan stuff, this is how they're going to work the mythology that way. And since DC is,
we forgot to mention the CW Arrowverse, the yearly crossover between all the shows is going to be titled Elseworlds. And they're going to be doing kind of like a version of Crisis on Infinite Earths. They casted the Monitor, who was one of the main characters of that miniseries.
Yes. Yeah, and Lois Lane's going to be in it, which means there'll be a return to the Superman character from that series, from the Arrowverse. And I love the guy that played Superman. I thought he did a great job, especially for television. He might be my favorite television version of Superman, and he's only been in like 3 or 4 episodes. I think he completely crushed the role, and he's actually in the outfit.
They have to fix the cape. It doesn't look right the way it's attached to his shoulders.
To the suit, because it comes like from here. It's actually attached to the symbol and kind of rides over. Whatever. I just thought he did a great job with the role in general. So anything else to say for this week on the Red Cup review? Because we got to wrap this up, fellas.
Yo, watch the UFC Conor McGregor fight, man. That's what I'm headed to.
Nice. Good.
Conor versus Khabib. I can't say his last name, but this is going to be an excellent fight. It's a pick'em fight.
All right, cool, great. Well, I'm going to wind up catching the highlights most likely after the fact. Oh, and just in case anybody wants to know a little bit of self-deprecation, the reason why I've been wearing my Yankee hat lately is so you don't see the giant, you don't get blinded by the light. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the hat came from for the past few episodes. Anyways.
Yeah, the Yanks are in the playoffs against Boston right now. Did they win game 1?
No, the Yankees lost game 1. Game 2 is on, I believe, was on tonight. Okay. Look, we got to say goodbye. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please come back with pictures. Join the official Red Cup Review community so you guys can share your stuff and like the video. Make sure you please like the video, and we're going to get you guys on. Send me a private message, and we'll catch some of you YouTubers on at a later date. And in the coming weeks, we're going to be having a Halloween episode where it's going to be all horror. That might be the Saturday before Halloween. We're going to do a whole horror episode. And we got a lot of stuff obviously planned for the coming weeks. We're going to be doing a Star Wars themed episode solely sometime, I believe, in November or December. So stay tuned for that. And this has been the Red Cup Review. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks, Baz.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. We'll be back next Saturday. Go see Venom. It's very entertaining. It's fun. I recommend
it. All right, cool. Rock on, everybody, and we'll catch you during the week on the Red Cup Review. And make sure you catch the reviews that are coming soon. We got haul videos and everything else and interviews from the Comic-Con. We'll see you then. Peace. See you later, Dr. Strange. You beat.